guys, welcome back to F1 Podcast. Well, as promised, we're going to talk a little bit about what's been happening in Formula 1 this week, Max. And the FIA photo situation continues. The silly season has started.
Awesome.
We've also got some track news as well. So let's start at the silly season, Max. And the first one was Alonso, the rumour that he was going to Ferrari early. I think we all knew that Alonso... Did we all know that, Max? That Alonso was going to go to Ferrari eventually?
Gee, this is the first I've ever heard of Fernando threatening to go to Ferrari or Ferrari taking him. Wow.
I always thought it was going to happen. There was always something natural, Max, about Fernando going to Ferrari, as Fernando will tell you himself. But the 2010 rumour I found a little bit interesting, given that Ferrari drivers, both of them have contracts for next year, and we all know that contracts mean nothing, Max. But what do you think about this early Fernando rumour, Max?
I think it's bullshit. I think, from memory, Kimi's contract ends at the end of this year. So I think that if anyone's going to go from Ferrari, it would be Kimi Räikkönen and being replaced by Fernando Alonso.
Kimi does have a contract for 2010, Max.
He does have.
I have a contract. He said it. I've got a contract.
Okay, and we know that contracts are worth two parts of fuck all in Formula 1 when it comes to driver contracts. But anyway, ask Jenson Button. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
Ask Michael Schumacher when he joined Ferrari. They were denying for a year that he was going to join Ferrari, and suddenly Michael showed up in Ferrari.
Now, I want to put it on the record. I'm a massive Kimi fan, right? But if I had to choose between who I would replace at Ferrari with Fernando Alonso, it's a no-brainer to me. Kimi has to go, and it would be Fernando Alonso that would join Felipe Massa next year. Felipe has ingratiated himself with the team. They love him. I won't say to the same extent as Michael, but he's right up there as far as the let's share the love at Ferrari. And Felipe makes himself available. He's a very affable person. Whereas Kimi, here's the keys to the car, I'm off.
Yeah.
Felipe...
I'll drive the car and then off I go, back to my boat.
Because that's what my contract says.
Yeah.
I'm a driver. What, you expect more from me? I'll do my sponsorship, my sponsor days. But other than that, don't ask me for anything else. Felipe Massa, on the other hand, always there, really friendly with all the guys, and has really built up a good rapport with them, and they want to help Felipe win.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that Kimi's engineers don't, but Felipe has, it's a whole Italian mentality. It's the whole, bring you into the bosom of the family.
Yeah, it's part of the diversity, it's part of the Scuderia.
Absolutely.
And what I found interesting, Max, is that notoriously in F1, you're only allowed to drive F1 cars. You're not allowed to go off and do other things. Whereas recently Kimi said, I want to go off and do some rallying events. And Ferrari said, yep, sure, off you go, do that. And I read an article yesterday, as I'm sure a lot of you have, about... Ferrari saying that they've got a £25 million problem with Kimi, and that if Kimi doesn't leave 1 year early, that they will have to pay him out £25 million. And, they've already signed Alonso for this 5-year deal. So it'd be very interesting to see whether Kimi will hold his ground and do another year at Ferrari, or whether he'll go off and say, okay, I'm going to do rallying, WRC, whatever next year. But I agree with you, mate. If anyone's going to leave Ferrari, it's going to be Kimi Räikkönen, and Felipe Massa will be joined by Alonso next year.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, mate. I think that's I think it's going to be done and dusted, and we'll see Fernando Alonso finally in the red overalls, and hopefully part one of the silly season bullshit will end.
Well, mate, the silly season's been going crazy. There's been lots of talk about Piquet having his last race with Renault at the Nürburgring.
I was going to say, let's talk about the second Renault.
Bourdais flipped out over this last couple of weeks. He was getting sick of being asked questions about him leaving Toro Rosso and being replaced by Jamie. I can't pronounce his last name.
Smith.
So Bourdais has got the shits because he's getting too many questions. Piquet, apparently Nelson's been talking to Nelson Senior's.
Gee, how unusual.
Flavio, trying to work out what's going on there.
How unusual.
Yes. Right, Hakey's under pressure at McLaren. There's, it's happening, mate. The silly season's here, baby.
Well, I look at, and look, I feel sorry for Seb Bourdais, quite frankly, because ever since he got into Formula 1 and didn't win his first race that he drove, and everyone's sort of been going, oh, is he really up to it and all that sort of thing. This guy's got shit for a year and a half. Whether I feel he should be in Formula 1 or has earned his right to stay in Formula 1 is irrelevant. It doesn't belie the fact that every time a race comes around,
every reporter asks the same question. Yeah.
How do you think you're going to get the punt? Do you think you drive safe and all that? And I tell you what, how this guy hasn't turned around in French and said, fuck you all, I'm not going to speak to you anymore about my potential future in Formula 1. I've got a contract. Let's leave it at that. Look, a lot of you might think, nah, he's done his dash. He was a great champ car driver, and he was 4-time world champion. Can't argue that. Formula 1 is a different game. But leave the guy alone.
Yeah, I mean, he does deserve the pressure in a certain circumstance, because Buemi's being in his first season and is slapping the guy and is outperforming him. So, he would understand that pressure is there. I mean,
of course.
But I agree, Max, that going to every Grand Prix and getting those questions, and Nelson Piquet would be the same. I mean, every Grand Prix, some reporter's going to stick the microphone in his gob and say, mate, what do you think? Are you going to be around in Formula 1? And if it was me, I'd just be, yeah, like you said, mate, fuck off, leave me alone. Yeah. But there's a lot of drivers under, I haven't read too many articles about Barrichello or Fisichella, but those guys would be under pressure, no doubt. There's rumours that Glock might move to McLaren and replace Hakey. Hakey's under a little bit of pressure. So, as I said a few minutes ago, mate, the silly season's here.
It's all good stuff, isn't it? It's great.
It's great, yeah.
And I mean, you don't need to inquire too much as to the fact that Pep and I both think that Piquet should go and should have gone at the end of last year anyway. And the thing that gets me about Nelson Sr., God bless him, he's trying to do the best for his boy, but unfortunately the statistics don't stack up in your son's favour. He's been a fucking failure in Formula 1 ever since he started, really. And some of you might say, oh, but he got 12th here or 10th there or 11th there. Or, yeah, good. But at the end of the day, flogging a dead horse doesn't get you anywhere. And Nelson Senior can wank on as much as he wants, but he's dealing with Flavio Briatore, who will have no hesitation in saying, listen, we've given your kid a chance. Okay, it's been 18 months. We've given him a pretty good go to prove himself. He hasn't. The writing's on the wall, Tiger. Sayonara. As to who they replace Nelsinho with, should that ever get to that stage, I'm not quite sure. But I think they've given him a lot of time, and it just hasn't worked out.
Isn't it going to be Grosjean, Max?
Sebastian Grosjean.
Yeah.
Could be.
He's been hanging around, and that's the big rumour that he'll get the drive. And you never know, Max. And let us know, guys, what you think. There's, the silly season has really started. So what's going to happen for next year? Who's going to move into what teams?
Which is great.
And we'll see, mate.
And do you think, though, if Hakey, okay, let's say that the rumours are true and potentially Glock goes to McLaren, where does Hakey go, or does he not go anywhere?
Yeah. There's 3 new teams that he could, assuming that he doesn't get a drive with one of the other teams, maybe he'll get a Force India drive or something like that. But let's not forget that there's 3 other teams that are starting up in Formula 1. I actually think that Hakey will get another seat. I don't think he'll leave Formula 1. There's plenty of people who would like to know what's happening in McLaren at the moment.
Yeah, they love all that McLaren data that he's got.
Yeah, and I think Hakey's got enough speed, and I think Hakey will get a drive. But whether it's with McLaren, I doubt it, Max. Alright guys, well I think we've run out of time for this video, so we'll do another video straight after this about the latest in the FIA FOTA situation, Max.
We will, but also maintain the rage about the Australian Grand Prix staying at Melbourne.
Oh right? Yeah.
Maintain the rage.
So we'll see you soon for that one, guys.
Alright guys, bye.
Bye.